Hey boys and girls, today we are on lesson 4, page 253 in your module 10 through 20 book. We are representing, still making our models, and finding the number of equal sized parts. We're kind of just keeping on doing what we were doing. Except this time we're dividing our whole numbers by fractions. So it's a little bit different. Still, it's really easy to represent this with pictures, and that's what helps me to not get these kind of problems wrong. So we're going to talk about how we can do that and keep you on track. It's very important to think about what's being divided before you start doing any work, and that's going to also help you know what's happening here. That's the common mistake, is putting the numbers in the wrong order. So we've got to pay attention to that. The days are gone of the biggest number is being divided. Not necessarily. In real life, we divide fractions all the time. We divide whole numbers. So we just have to read and see what our story's telling us to do and work hard to do that. So the first problem says, a nature preserve is 5 miles wide. A ranger divides the entire preserve into 1/3 sections for different tours. How many sections does the nature preserve have for different tours? Okay, so let's get that in our mind again. We've got a nature preserve that's 5 miles wide, and the ranger is dividing it into 1/3 sections. So let's think about 1/3. 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. That's going to make up 1 mile. But we have 5 of those miles. So still, I've got my 5 that's being divided. I have my 5 things. So we've got 5 miles, and we are dividing them into 1/3 sections. So here's 1 mile. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So this is where this is a little bit different. We had 5 things, and we put each one into thirds. So then it says, how many sections are there? So I don't want you to think that this is a fraction, because it's not. It says how many sections. You had 5, you put each one in thirds. So I've got 3 sections here. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So if I have 5 divided by 1/3, that answer is actually 15. Which may be confusing to you because you're thinking, but I'm dividing. Doesn't necessarily mean that. We just put this into thirds. So now it's saying how many sections are there? How many pieces are there? These are definitely smaller. But that's not what our question said, bigger or smaller. It's just how many are there? I had 5, and I put them each into thirds. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Now I have 15 sections. So 5 divided in thirds is 15. A big mistake that I see is students will say that that's 1/15. And that would not be correct, because it's just like if you had pizzas and you put them all in thirds, now you're going to have 15 pieces of pizza. Okay? You're not going to have just 1/15. You're actually getting a little bit more. As far as how many you have, they're just smaller, of course. Okay, let's turn to the back. The nature preserve has a 3-mile long trail for bird watchers. The ranger divides the trail into 1/2 mile sections and names each one after a different bird. How many of these sections does the trail have? Complete to describe the situation and model it with an expression. Pull that down some. The trail is blank miles long. How long is our trail? 3 miles, tells me right there. and is divided into half-mile sections. My 3 is being divided by half. I like to just write it out. This can be modeled by the expression, right there. There it is. The expression, remember the answer without an equal sign. Now, we can also represent this with a number line. So if we're thinking of this, we've got our 3 miles. So we've got 0, and I'm going to put this into 2, and then this can be 3. So if we're putting them into half sections, well, let's read here. How is the dividend represented on the number line? The dividend, what's being divided? We labeled 0 to 3. 3 is the dividend. How is the divisor represented? Remember, the divisor is what we're dividing by. We're putting it into half-mile sections. So I'm going to put 1/2, 1.5, 2.5. So each whole is divided in half. Well, how is the quotient represented on the number line? How is the quotient? How is the answer represented? The number of sections that we have. So remember, every half-mile section, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Each one is going to be named after a different bird. So each section represents the answer. What division equation can you write? Interpret your answer in this situation. Equation 3 divided by 1/2 is 6. Again, we see our 3 and our 2, which probably makes you think of 6 anyways. And in this case, it's the whole number because I had 3 miles and I put them each in half sections. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections. You could also draw your picture again. You got 3 things. Put them all in halves. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things. All right, let's look at the next page. 255. John's lawnmower uses 1/4 of a gallon of gas each time he mows the lawn. John has 3 gallons in a container. How many times can he mow the lawn before he needs to refill it? So he uses 1/4 every time he mows, but he's got 3 whole gallons. So really, you're asking how many fourths are there in that whole 3? So I've got my, my 3 whole gallons. Here's a gallon, here's a gallon, here's a gallon. It's important that we realize that our 3 is being divided into fourths. I want to see how many fourths can go in my 3 because I'm using 1/4 when I mow it this Saturday, 1/4 next Saturday. I know that there's 4 fourths in 1, right? 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. That would give me my whole gallon. So, how many times am I going to be able to mow my grass? If I want to put them into fourths, here's this Saturday, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That'll give me 12 whole mowing jobs done with 3 gallons of gas. Wouldn't that be nice? That was true. So we drew our rectangles, we divided them into fourths, and we counted all of our equal parts. So the quotient is how many times he can mow. And hopefully I know that a lot of times, like I've said, students will give me the answer 1/12. Well, how many times can he mow? 1/12 of a time? That would mean he couldn't even mow once, right? It tells me that he uses a fourth for one mow. If I have the whole number 3, that's a lot of fourths to get up to my 3. It's 12 fourths. And let's look at this last one on the bottom. Tim serves 1/5 of a pound of cat food each day from a 2-pound bag. How many days will this bag last? This is important, when y'all are making lunches, or if your parents are, preparing dinner and you're helping them, you've got to figure out, this is something we do in real life all the time. Okay, how many days is this going to last me? Just like if you have animals, horses, pigs, chickens, the amount of food you give them each day, this is going to help you know how long it's going to last. Tim serves 1/5 of a pound each day from a 2-pound bag. So he's got 2 pounds, and we're dividing it into 1/5 servings. He's getting 1/5 today, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, 5/5. So it took me 5 days to eat 1 pound, or my cat. So I see my numbers 2 and 5. It's going to take 10 days for that cat to eat all of that bag. Or you can draw your 2 bags and you put them into 5 parts. There's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It took 10 days. 10 days to get rid of that food. You could always add up, okay? 1/5 plus 1/5 plus 1/5 plus 1/5 until you get to that whole number 2. That's another strategy that you could use. All right, guys. Let's see how long this is. 12. All right, let's just look at this last 1 or 2. Whoop. On 256, write a division equation that represents this visual model. Right here, I know I've got 2 whole things, and they're divided into fourths, because I see that. How many fourths is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 divided by fourths would be 1/8. If we're going to draw a visual model, let me get my book right. If we're going to draw a visual model to represent 2 divided by a 6, then find that quotient. You could do it like that. We can draw it like we have been. 2 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I know there's 6 in each one. 6 plus 6 is 12. If I have 2 and I put them in 6, I'm going to have 12 pieces. Tyra has 4 liters of water for a chemistry experiment. This is 1/5 of the amount that she needs. How much distilled water does she need? So she needs more. It says she has 4. And this is 1/5. So 4 is 1/5 of it. So I'm going to need more than that. So 4 is 1/5. And I'm going to need 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. That's my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be my 5 groups that I'm going to need for that. Okay. Draw visual models. If I have 3 and I'm putting it in halves, I just know that's going to be 6. 1, 2, 3. If I put them all in half, I'm going to have 6 parts. What if I have 2 divided by thirds? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I've got 3 here and 3 here. That's also going to be 6. How are the 2 equations the same? Well, they have the same quotient, don't they? It's just a different way of representing it. All right, guys. So that is your lesson for today. If you need me, let me know. And do your best.